This is the time to buy. Hi, it's Mosh. I make investing and finance nice and simple to understand. I personally think this is the right time to buy. And if you've been wondering where I've been the last few months, investing is a waiting game a lot of times. You have to be patient to find the opportune moment. If you get your timings wrong, you can lose a lot of money. In this video, I'm going to talk about why I think it's the right time to buy and how I'm going to go about buying my stocks or my ETFs. Firstly, the stock market has taken a big shock due to massive raising interest rates from various central banks, the Fed, the Bank of England, Europe. However, inflation is looking like it's cooling down. So the recent report from the US suggested that inflation has dropped to 7.7%. And when inflation starts dropping, interest rates will start dropping as well. So it's going to be easy for companies to access money if they need it. Mortgages will start coming down, or the rates will start coming down. So I think this is a good sign that the recovery is going to be on soon. And remember, anything I say is not financial advice. It's my own opinions. Do your own research. Now, if we analyze the S&P 500, also known as a SPY, so this is where we're currently at. And then you can see in 2019, due to the pandemic, into 2020, we saw this big, massive dip. And we saw it literally rage on to its highest point, then several dips. And it looks like it's starting to recover. However, this is a comparison of the 2008 recession and where we're currently at. Personally, I'm going to be dollar cost averaging in. So in the next 3 to 4 months, I'll be dollar cost averaging my buying, because just in case we do get this big further dip, but personally, I don't think it's going to be the case, but just in case with the stock market, you never know what's going to happen. So you have to go based on probability and historic trends as well. So if we do get this dip, because I'm dollar cost averaging in, I should average out to about this point here. And if we do carry on going up, I'll just ride that wave anyway. Currently, we're in a recession period, so it's very hard to find individual stocks to buy. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to buy ETFs. ETFs are a basket of funds. So it could be hundreds, if not 1,000 companies all in one basket. So when we talk about S&P 500, it's the top 500 companies in the US that you're buying into. There are various providers that do it. However, I'm going to be using a company called Investengine because they give me the greatest flexibility. I want to choose the ETFs that I invest in and what I think that is going to do well. Whereas if you go someone like Vanguard, one of the funds, they will do all the investing for you. Now, Investengine also have an option where you can give your money and they'll do all the investing for you, but you have no control of what it is invested in. So they do a managed portfolio at a very, very, very low fee of 0.25%, which is ridiculously low. I've done a whole video on that and I've done a 1-year update. I'll link it in the cards above and I'll link it in below as well. But I'm going to do this. It's do it yourself and it's 0 fees. So I've already signed up with them and I'm going to talk you through it step by step. So we're going to go to create a DIY portfolio. Now they also give you a ISA option. I already have an ISA account with another provider, Trading 212, but you can get your ISA transferred. So basically any gains made is tax-free and you have a maximum amount of 20,000 to invest in. And if you're not sure how ISAs work, I've done a tax video that you can check out. I'll link it in below and in the cards above as well. So I'm going to do a personal account. Now, the great thing, as I said, with Investengine is the DIY portfolio is fee-free. However, the ETFs have individual fees. But the great thing I like is they tell you how much the fees are. Now, they also have Vanguard available. So if we go to Vanguard, because a lot of people go direct to Vanguard itself, and you can see all the different types of Vanguard ETFs they have. So remember, like for example, the Vanguard FTSE Developed World is 0.12% as an ETF fee. The Vanguard FTSE 250, 0.1. Again, these are very low fees. And the reason why I'm buying basket of shares, because for me, it's becoming very hard to pick out individual companies. Now, the gains won't be as much, but personally for me, it's a less risky way of doing it than buying individual stocks. Now, one thing I like is emerging markets. So if we just put in emerging markets in here, and remember, they've got hundreds of ETFs, more than 530 ETFs. So it gives you a wide range. So then we can compare all the different ETFs by different providers. So we've got iShares by BlackRock, emerging markets. So they charge 0.4%. We've got HSBC 0.15%. So if I click on this, because the ETF fee is very low, and then let's see what regions they're in. So they got Taiwan Semiconductor 6.5%, Tencent Holdings, Samsung, Alibaba. So these companies you won't find in many ETFs like the S&P 500. So I'm going to add this to my portfolio. I'm going to also add in iShares Physical Gold, and you can see the fees for this ETF is 0.16%. Remember, Investengine don't charge any fees, but these are fees that you'd normally have to pay if you were to go to other providers anyway. So I'm going to add that to my portfolio. And the best thing about Investengine is they will give you £25 absolutely free if you invest £100 in, and you just have to leave the £100 in there for 12 months. Now, there is a deadline. They are going to stop this offer on the 12th of December, 2022. So you've got a couple of weeks left to get this offer in, put in £100, open up your account and start your investing journey. Now, I also want to invest in some UK stocks because I think they have been massively battered. So there is some very good companies out there. So we can put in some UK stocks. So let's see what they have. So you got Invesco FTSE 100, so 100 largest UK stocks, and that has a fee of 0.09%. Again, very low. So let's buy some of that, add to my portfolio. Now, I also want to buy an ETF of the BRICS country. So if I put in BRIC, and you can see iShares does one, it's a little bit high on the fees, 0.74%. And if you're not sure what BRIC is, it's made up of 5 countries: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. So if we ever do get to the point where the dollar does collapse and we go back to the gold standard or, rare earth metal standard, whatever it may be, I think the BRICS countries will do very well. So it's basically a union of these 5 really high emerging economies with very high populations. And you can see iShares, which is BlackRock, they do a BRIC 50. So the top 50 countries in the BRIC companies, so Brazil, Russia, India, China. And if we go to the holdings, we can see they got Tencent Holdings, they got Alibaba, they've got these other companies, JD.com, Petrobras, which is a petroleum company in Brazil. So again, I'm going to add that to my portfolio. Now, I also get asked a lot from the Muslim population, about investing, and there might be some companies, for example, if you invest in the S&P 500, there'll be some companies that sell alcohol, gambling, that sort of stuff. So there is also things known as Islamic ETFs. So you can see here, this is iShares MSCI World Islamic. So if we click on it, what this does is it's from developed countries and it's an Islamic index. So these are Sharia compliant investments. So there will be no alcohol, no gambling companies in here. So you can see you got ExxonMobil, which is petroleum, Johnson & Johnson, so soaps, shampoos, that sort of stuff. Procter & Gamble again, Pfizer, Chevron, Royal Dutch Shell, Cisco Systems. And one thing you can also check out is how they've done. So from 2016 to now, you can see it's done a very nice steady climb. And obviously it's taken the dips as usual, like everyone else has when it has during the COVID times recently. But to be honest, this is doing really well. So I'm definitely going to add this to my portfolio. And the ETF fee is 0.3%, which is pretty low considering how well it's done. Let's look at other ones. So this is iShares MSCI USA Islamic. So this ETF tracks leading stocks on the US market, which is based on Sharia compliant investments. And you can see the holdings. So these are just American companies, not worldwide companies. And let's have a check how they've done. Okay, again, this has done really, really well. So from 2016, if we look at the graph, okay, it's worth £48, and before it was a value of £24. So let's again add that to my portfolio. And again, it has a fee of 0.3%, which is still very low. All right, I think I've got enough. Continue. So this gives me a very broad exposure to different countries. So I'm not just in the US, not just in the S&P 500. I'm in gold, I'm in emerging markets, in the BRICS countries. So let's go to review and continue. So you can see now my portfolio, the regions, North America, which is US, is 26%, emerging markets 20%, UK 15%, Asia excluding Japan is about 9%, Europe excluding UK is 7%, Japan is under 1%. I might buy some Japanese stocks, but I'm not too big fan of Japanese stocks, to be honest, and the rest of the world. All right, let's save and continue. It will bring you onto this bit next, and there's two options I have. So obviously I've got no cash in this account. You can add cash to the account and it will allocate it based on your percentages that you've got. So if I add cash from my normal account, let's put £100 in. And remember, if you put £100 in, you get £25 from Investengine. And you've got until 12th of December to get that £25. So definitely get moving on that. So to make it nice and easy, I just have to scan it, go on the true layer, and it will go in. And it's saying it's going to take 30 seconds. The £100 in my account. Now you can also activate auto invest. Now what that means, any cash available in your account will be automatically invested in your DIY portfolio. And remember, with investing, your capital is at risk. So now I've got the money in, you can just press invest and let's put £100, review order. And based on how much cash I've got, and obviously today's a weekend, so the market is closed, it's gonna allocate it based on those percentages. Confirm, and the order is submitted. So when the market opens Monday, I'll have all my cash allocated into these ETFs that I've chosen. If you want to see how my managed portfolio with Investengine worked out after 1 year, go check out this video. And if you got any questions, leave a comment. I reply to every single comment in my YouTube videos.